What's up, guys? So you just saw all that good stuff in the beginning, and don't forget DCS4 July 24th, 25th. This is the DCS3 playmat. It's really sick, and you guys, I'll throw the DCS4 playmat up here in just a second. Top 8 get it, along with all those good old cash prizes. We know that's what you guys like. Link down below. Come join Dragon Rider Games, and stay tuned for the DCS4 with the new ban list. So without further ado, guys, enjoy your video. What's up, everybody? So we're getting ready for the DCS4 July 24th and 25th. You're gonna hear me saying it all the time. You want to get your sick playmats, I mean not Dragoon but Boarload Savage Dragon, or your field centers, or are you guys in it for the big cash pot? Yes, we are running our Swiss events with a cash pot up for grabs. And if you decide you don't want the the field center or the playmat, guess what? There's buyback options, and you can get 100% cash if you would like to. So come join Dragon Rider Games. Link down below. All the details of the DCS4 are going to be coming out very shortly. It's going to be a ton of fun, capping at 100 players though, guys, so be ready to join because it's going to fill up quick, and there won't be more room until we do DCS5. So if you're going to play in this tournament though, you got to know how to beat the top decks of the format, and that's why we're here to help. We're doing how to beat Drytron. We will cover Adignisters, we will cover Invoke Shaddoll Dogmatica, we will cover Eldritch variants, if you will. We're going to cover Tri-Brigade variants. We're going to do it all, and we're going to help you guys succeed in this event. So without further ado, we got a sample hand that we're going to kind of run through, play it out, talk about disruption, talk about points where you can, try to stop them, and we'll talk about other cards and things you can do to try to beat this deck. I'm going to show off my extra deck. This is my Drytron build, by the way. I play Triple Tactics Talent, Call by the Grave, and Instant Fusion to help play through hand traps. So the Millennium Eyes are strict. Diviner, being able to send your Herald for your combo or your Intis to break boards, it's just really, really strong. Fafnir card's crazy. Not only is it a foolish burial to send, whatever Drytron you need, you get to use its material. It's just free ritual material. We do play the one Lyrilusk, Downard, and then Zeus for our, Zeus play. Beatrice, being able to just dump your Eva twice and just plus like insane amounts off of it. Card's insane. Lynn Karibo, Masquerena, Phoenix, Unicorn, pretty standard all. Boral Sword and Appaloosa. And I've seen a lot of Adignister getting played, and when they put out their towers, it's kind of hard to beat over. I mean, you have Boral Sword, but they have the negate. So I actually play Underworld Goddess, and it's just a really easy way to clear out the towers. So that's the extra deck I run with, and it's really versatile in what the deck can do. We're going to run through the combo here. So starting out, Emergency really don't matter here because you had Foolish Burial, you had Nova, you had Gamma. Like, you have enough Drytrons to start playing. I mean, Gamma's probably one of the worst ones to open, but we're going to go ahead and get our Zeta. We had already searched out our Alpha, doing Drytron things. Then we searched out off our Alpha, we searched out the Bent and went a little quick there. And then the Zeta is going to go ahead and get the ritual spell. So what can you do against the deck? I mean, so far we already saw like Alpha or Zeta being able to search the monster and the ritual spell. And honestly, if you have, say, Ash, like that's your negate, you have Ash, I would almost save the Ash for Zeta because the deck runs way less ritual spells than it does access to, ritual monsters. Unfortunately, Diviner can send Arclight, which could search out your Medianus Drytron as well, so that is one thing you have to be a little bit leery of. But I found the deck almost always has access to its rituals and to the Drytron monsters, but like they typically, just like I said, that we don't play many ritual spells, so I almost prefer, if I'm going to use Ash, to actually Ash the Zeta. Obviously Alpha or Benton are going to be decent targets as well. Cards like Triple Tactics Talent, though, letting me draw 2 again, almost guarantees I'm going to go into combo. So the deck is pretty resilient. It's going to have hands where that one Ash can stop it. Keeping in mind, if they use a Drytron in hand, you cannot go spell it unless it's Gamma, because like if I use Zeta in hand, there's a 0% chance something gets summoned from the graveyard. Gamma summons from the graveyard, so you can bell it. DD Crow, yeah, DD Crow's pretty good against the deck. I mean, you can make your their Benton miss timing and hope they don't have that extra extender in hand to keep pushing, but they can actually abuse Benton a couple times still in their turns. So especially if they're playing Megalith full, so hitting like Benton with the Crow is pretty strong. Otherwise, like if they say Foolish Alpha, use Alpha Engrave, tributing, I don't know, anything, and you DD Crow that Alpha and get it out of the graveyard, that can really hurt their plays. Yeah, for the most part, though, Skullmeister, I mean, there's a lot of activation in the graveyard, whether it be the ritual spell getting it back, or like I said, like that Alpha or that Zeta. These are the two main Drytron cards you do want to negate. And like I said, unless you know they already have their Medianus, I almost like going for Zeta first. Especially once in a while, like you'll see someone open up their Diviner, and that's the play they lead off with, which I do strongly disagree with. I like holding it to see where my opponent's disruption lands, so I can normal it, send my Arclight, and not only do they hopefully not have more disruption, Arclight can get me a ritual monster or spell, so it kind of frees up a little more flexibility in what we're gonna do. But Benton's gonna go ahead and search out the Diviner, so that's why hitting the Benton is probably a good call, like whether it's Meister or Ash. Zeta and Benton to me are both better hits than Alpha if you're gonna Ash one of the cards in the deck. Otherwise, even saving it for Fafnir. So, I mean, odds are you didn't save it by this point, but like Fafnir, Imperm on Fafnir, it's really, really rough because not only do they not get the Foolish, they don't get to use free 2 ritual materials, or even Gamma, like clearing it right off the board. Gamma or Imperm on the Fafnir is almost a turn ender. Like, I mean, it's not going to be full on turn ender because like we have Diviner, you can summon Diviner, send Arclight, you already have the fusion spell, so at that point you could say, I mean, I don't know, you can grab full, if you have a way to get your Gamma still on hand, use your Medianus, summon your full, which would get you Benton back to your hand, go into Beatrice, dump your ultimateness, Gamma hitting your Benton, summoning, then you can make one lose life points, get your Medianus back, and then still make your ultimateness, have your Beatrice to send Eva on your opponent's turn. Like, the deck's pretty crazy in what it can do. But so a few things we have learned, like I said, ashing the Benton or the Zeta. I mean, again, you can hit the Alpha, but I prefer the other two. Same with Skullmeister. Ghost Bell on whatever one's in the graveyard first isn't a bad idea, or even the ritual spell just to keep them from getting it back can hurt. Ghost Bell on full actually can hurt too a lot because it doesn't gain the levels either, so then you turn off the you actually turn off the Beatrice play too. In this hand, I opened Insane in this hand, so I actually sent my other Medianus just in case like my opponent were to have a DD Crow. Like, that'll happen sometimes. And then you still have your other one. Obviously, I could have, for this replay with no opponent, I could have sent literally anything. But yeah, then we're going to go ahead, full summon the Gamma, bring back the Delta, just linking into IP, get that full back, and then like I said, because now full's going to get Benton, and then we can go into Beatrice, dumping our Eva, getting our Orange, and our Diviner. So then Medianus come back. Fafnir don't need attack points. Delta, so now we're going to also draw a card, and then we're going to get Benton Search, then Medianus go into like your ultimateness, and then we can even go into like an Appaloosa for 3 materials, and we can dump another. So we have Appaloosa for 3, we have ultimateness with a handful, you have Beatrice that you can send another Eva to grab another Orange and Diviner. Like, so I mean, you got a handful of negates there, 3 negates there, a couple orange lights in hand. Like, say they open up Dark Ruler, well, guess what, you still got double orange light in hand. So what we kind of talked hand traps. We talked Gamma and Perm the Fafnir, ashing the Benton or the Zeta, same with Meister, Ghost Bell on whatever in the graveyard. What else can you really do against the deck? I mean, Dark Ruler no more, Forbidden Droplets, both are really crazy cards, because I mean, like, this is a really strong board presence right here. So both of them cards turning this off is really, really good, especially if you can, say, chain the droplet to the Beatrice to not get that extra Eva to hand. You still have to play through one Arclight and maybe a potential hand trap. They don't really play too many though, because there's not a whole lot of room for it. most of the flex spots go into like cards like Talons to push through. I do play Droplet too, so I could potentially have that set, but like Droplet, Dark Ruler No More are both pretty good going second. I mean, obviously, Cyber Dragon's gonna be able to contact fuse the Appaloosa. Otherwise, like cards like if you play like a trap heavy build and you can set like your Ice Dragon's Prison, Solemn Strike, or like a counter trap like that to where you can bait, say, the ultimateness. It's like, oh, I'm going to use Ice Dragon's Prison and they're going to negate it. Now I'm going to Solemn Strike you. Um, I mean, the board's pretty hard to out. Drone Lockbird obviously does really good against it. You saw that Lancia doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, Lancia is going to stop the Eva, and really that's about it. Like, that's about it. So Lancia not too good. I don't play any draw spells that require banishing. I don't know if others do. But Nibiru is another pretty good overall hand trap versus them. If you're gonna go first though, you want to disrupt kind of those same points that we talked with hand traps, but you're gonna use your disruptions on it, whether it's destruction and stopping their plays, whether it's negates, and like you're still going to negate like the Zeta, the Benton, the Fafnir. Like these are the types of places that you're going to try to hit if you are to try to stop the deck. And this is just one test hand, and the deck can do quite a bit, but I mean this is a really good hand, so I feel like it's a good one to talk about kind of everything the deck can do. So hopefully this video gave you a little more insight on the power of Drytrons and why they're such a strong deck, and kind of gave you guys a better idea on where you can hit them and what cards to use against them. Obviously, I'm not going to go into like all the going second cards. Kaijus, like you can Kaiju the Ultimateness, you can Sphere Mode this board, you can Lava Golem this board. I'm not going to go into all these counters because, well, I don't have time, guys, and I don't even have a watch either. So, that's kind of how that is. And going first, like I said, it's those key disruption points that you just need to remember, whether you have Crackdown, Compul, Cyber Dragon Infinity, Borload Savage Dragon, like Hierdic Seal, whether you have Salamander Roar, whether you have Widow Anchor. These are the points where you're going to disrupt them. That's kind of the short and sweet answer to it. So thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget DCS4, July 24th. Take care.